and thank you for joining us today for the 5th segment of Let's Get Technical. Today's topic is specialty services, which run from waterjet cutting to engraving. I'm Maresa.
And my name is Alex.
Welcome. So Alex, let's go over waterjet cutting.
Sure thing. So the process of water jetting, let's say you have a project and you have a bunch of different custom sizes, custom shapes that you have no idea how you're going to field cut them or even go about getting those produced. The good thing about our water jet process, it's an abrasive water jet, so it can cut concrete materials from 1.5 inches all the way to 4 inches thick, and it's CAD programmable. So with most of these projects where CAD files are an option, you can send those to us and we can develop shop tickets. Those shop tickets, what they will give you is all the lengths, dimensions, what the piece is essentially going to look like. We can submit that to you, and we can also provide you with an accurate price to cut that shape or size. Going from there, let's say it's time to order material. What we'll do is we will produce larger slabs, such as our 2x2s or up to our 2x4s. And once those are produced, we can take them over to the water jet table, and we can cut those shapes and sizes to help accommodate whatever you need for your project. So it really is a unique tool, and you'll kind of see the endless possibilities that this water jet can do. So going on from there, this top slab up here is an example of what can be done. It consists of 4 different colors, the smaller pieces, and then the larger overall slab, and they're all inlaid together to create this logo. It's a recycled content logo developed by our marketing team. So really is a unique piece and shows the capabilities of our water jet. Going on from there, some of our more common applications of what we use for our water jet are drainage pavers. And those drainage pavers consist of either slots or holes. And the slots are roughly 1/4 inch thick, and we have standards for each of our standard size pavers. Usually with our 2x2s, they're 16 inches long, and there's 5 of them per slab. Good thing about this is the slots and the holes are customizable. So if you wanted more slots, you wanted less, whatever, we can accommodate project specific details like that. So maybe you're asking, why would you want slots over holes? Maybe you want something that's not as noticeable. In that case, you would want to go for holes, something very that you want to notice if it was tucked away over a drain. And some of the uses for this, let's say you're over a pedestal set application, you need a certain amount of drainage over the drain itself through the paver. Now remember, with pedestal set applications, you have an 1/8 inch joint spacing, so that water's going to drain around the perimeter of the paver itself. But maybe at the drain, you need a certain amount of drainage coverage, and we can provide that with these slots. Another use for these over structure is maybe on a sand setting bed, and you won't have the ability to have that water drain through the system. You would have to slope your roof deck to the drain, and then you could use one of these pavers over the drain itself and let that water drain into the system. So really, either way, I've seen these pavers used in those different applications. Going on from there, let's say you don't need drainage pavers over top of your drain, and you just want to signify that there's a drain underneath this paver. That way, you're not spending hours pulling up pavers on this huge roof deck. You're able to find exactly where that's at. What we can do for that is offer these D impressions. You can see here in the top right, we have our smaller D, which is a 3 inch from top to bottom. In this lower left-hand corner, we have a 4 inch from top to bottom. We do offer up to 5 inches, so there's 3 sizes, but typically these are our more common sizes. They can be placed throughout wherever on the paver. I've seen them done right in the middle, at the corners, and we can even do them at an angle if you're laying them at a 45-degree pattern. So really, it's just a really subtle but helpful tool to help you, do maintenance on the roof deck after the fact. So just another thing to keep in mind, something that Hanover offers that makes your project unique. Going on from there, another service that we offer is scoring. As you can see in this paver, it is scored to look like 4x4s. And what this gives the ability to do is create that appearance of smaller pavers being set on pedestals. Typically, we don't like anything less than a 12 by 12 being set on pedestals, so this creates a unique ability to give that appearance, but also being used in those type of applications. So really a useful tool there. Some of the more common requests besides our drainage slots are pavers being cut around lights. Typically, what we get calls about are holes for lights being cut directly in the center of the paver, which we can accommodate. We had a unique request, maybe last month or so, where the light was actually elevated off the paving surface, and they wanted a material to cover that paver, cover that light, but it give the same appearance as the pavers all set on the pedestal. So we came up with this idea, which it gives you the same texture on top and the same aggregate exposure on the side, which matches the pavers being set on pedestals, but it also covers that light and creates a flush transition. So really a unique idea, and they shows you kind of the possibility and the tolerance, the exactness that this water jet can be used for your project. So one of the first projects I worked on here at Hanover were radial pavers being cut around the fountain. Those pavers, once they were cut, were sent to our engraver to get engraved. It really came out to be a really unique project, so I'm going to let Maresa talk a little bit about how that process gets about and kind of the ideas of what that can do. So tell us a little bit about engraving.
Thanks, Alex. So on our engraving, we could engrave any of our Hanover pavers, slabs, porcelain, granite, brick pavers. We can do logos, text, designs. We can do designs for certain occasions. We can do, a lot of times these engravings are done for signage, whether it be
Like
an address,
yeah.
We use it for memorials. Some people have used them for gardens, just to put little pavers with little sayings on them in their gardens. Our most common thing that we use our engraving for is fundraising. Fundraising is a very good opportunity for organizations to get money to help their organization and provide a unique way to show that off in their pathway, their patio, plaza, whatever they're doing. So on the engraving, we have a fundraising guide on our online, so that it can help you, guide you through the process of fundraising. You can call in. We would be more than happy to help you. We send samples to show you what the engraving looks like. So there's a lot of opportunities there. And we one nice thing about the engraving for fundraising is, say you start your project and every quarter you want to add to that project, or every year you want to add to that project. So what you can do is get your orders, get them placed, send them in. We will engrave the pavers. When you get them back, you can take the blanks out, which is the pavers, of course, that have nothing on them, pop them out, put the new ones in, and you have your engraved pavers into your project. The process for that is, we usually require a list of engravings to be sent in. We have our engraver do a proof for them to show you what it's going to look like on the size or style paver that you pick. And once we get the proofs back, we send them to you. You approve them. Once they're approved, we will get the order placed and get the pavers engraved and get them back to you so you can get started on your unique project to
Why don't you tell us a little bit about the paint itself being
okay,
used?
good idea, Alex. So the engravings are, the engraver makes a stencil, lays the stencil on the paver, and then sandblasts the engraving. Once that is done, then they fill in the engraving with a lithochrome paint. And the lithochrome paint is a little more sturdier than epoxy fill. It lasts much longer. It gives very vibrant colors. We can do, like this one, we can do logos, text. So there's many opportunities for engraving for different projects, one thing we do often is we do direction for like sunbursts or compasses. We will do directions, north, south, east, and west. So engraving can be used in many ways.
Yeah, and also the ability to be used with our water jet service. You can really create a unique project using both of those. So kind of gives an idea of what we have available here in Hanover. So, well, thank you for joining us today. Tune in about 2 weeks from now on November 17th. Lee Furman will be doing an interview with a special guest about projects of distinction. So it should be a really interesting topic.
Mm-hmm.
Excited to see what he has to say.
Yeah.
So if you have any questions about any of the material we see here that maybe we haven't had time to get to today, please email us with any questions at all to Hanover Pavers. Let's get tech at hanoverpavers.com. Thank you. Thank you for joining us today.